An archaeologist will probably uncover something remarkable somewhere in the world today. The same thing happened yesterday, and it'll happen again tomorrow. No matter how much of our past we've already uncovered, there's always so much more waiting beneath the surface. That's why the work of an archaeologist is never truly finished, but it's also why we're able to keep bringing you incredible videos filled with astonishing archaeological finds like this one. Number 15. Ancient mythical castle Serby Borg. For so long, the existence of Serby Castle in Sweden was treated more like a legend than history. But in August 2021, archaeologist Jan Henrik Fahlgren finally located what remains of it hidden beneath a dry lake bed. His breakthrough came after discovering a passing reference to its location in a 1704 dissertation. That footnote led him to Skeppsmåla, just beyond the Kavlon boglands. It may not look impressive today, but the area holds one of Sweden's most haunted pasts, once known for massive ritual sacrifices going back 2,400 years and lasting into the 1100s. Over a ton of human remains have been uncovered here, along with gold and thousands of ancient weapons. Almost nothing of the castle walls remains, likely because the stones were taken to construct a nearby Lutheran church. While nothing is visible on the surface, ground-penetrating radar has allowed experts to map the castle's structure for the first time in over 300 years. It's not a myth anymore, just a nearly vanished piece of buried history. Number 14. The Solar Observatory of Changilo. In the Peruvian desert, at the Casma Sechin Oasis, there is a monumental hilltop complex known as Changilo, and it stands as one of the region's most significant archaeological sites. Once thought to be a ceremonial fort, Changilo includes clearly defined living quarters and communal spaces, suggesting it was a place where people from surrounding areas gathered for major events over 2,300 years ago. But recent research has focused on the 13 towers aligned along its ridge. After careful study, archaeologists now believe these towers form the oldest known solar observatory in the Americas. Two structures at either end of the alignment served as observation points, allowing residents to track the sun's movement throughout the year as it aligned with specific towers. While the Incas are well known for their astronomical skill, whoever lived at Changilo may have developed solar tracking methods centuries earlier. The idea that this ancient community may have taught later cultures how to read the sky isn't far-fetched or fake. Number 13. Biddenham Settlement Discovery. In the English town of Biddenham, archaeologists have been conducting exploratory digs ahead of a new housing development. They struck archaeological gold almost instantly in early 2021, unearthing the remnants of an ancient settlement. The find is still so fresh that experts haven't been able to pin down an exact age yet, though they suspect it dates back either to the Neolithic period or the early Bronze Age. The site shows signs of long-term habitation, with layers revealing Iron Age and Anglo-Saxon structures. At the center, a primary structure appears to have served as a focal point for rituals and ceremonies, potentially as far back as 6,000 years ago. The Anglo-Saxon findings are easier to identify. They include a building equipped with underground chambers and an oven. While the housing project will eventually move forward, it's been paused to give archaeologists time to fully examine and recover anything of historical value. This dig may reshape what we know about long-term settlement patterns in this part of Britain. Number 12. Ancient Hinge discovered in Yorkshire. We're going to England for this next find. Everyone's heard of Stonehenge, located in Wiltshire. But thousands of years ago, Britain was filled with similar monuments, some of wood, others of stone. In 2018, archaeologists uncovered the remains of a wooden henge beneath farmland in East Yorkshire. Believed to be around 4,000 years old, it likely served a very different purpose than Stonehenge. Most scholars see Stonehenge as a ceremonial or ritual site, but this wooden structure may have been used more practically as a kind of Neolithic sauna. The remains were almost invisible on the surface, but aerial imaging revealed their presence at Little Catwick Quarry near Hornsey. After 3 months of excavation, a central pit was uncovered, packed with scorched stones, strongly suggesting it operated like a sweat lodge. Cold winters in ancient Yorkshire would have made such a space essential. While its exact use may remain uncertain, the site shows that not all ancient monuments were built for the heavens. Some were made for simple survival. Number 11. Punchmarked coin in Tamil Nadu. You can't always glean much from a single ancient coin, but this one is very different. It's a punch-marked silver coin unearthed at the well-established archaeological site of Kadi in Tamil Nadu, India during the summer of 2021. The coin is unusually shaped. One side features symbols of the sun and moon, while the reverse carries a semicircle and what appears to be the Tamil letter Ta. Its maker remains unknown, but some scholars believe it points to a forgotten civilization that lived along the Vaigai River more than 2,500 years ago. If that's true, and the coin was actually used as currency, not jewelry or ritual token, it suggests this lost society had a developed economy and might have traded with cultures further north. Adding to the mystery, 2 layers of terracotta pipelines were discovered nearby. Though similar pipelines have appeared in Tamil Nadu before, none have matched this particular design. Could both the coin and the pipes come from the same elusive people? If so, where's the rest of their story? Number 10. Blythe Inaglios. In the California desert, there are massive human and animal figures scraped into the earth, only fully visible from the air. Though aerial discovery didn't come until 1932, the geoglyphs may be up to 2,000 years old. Stretching up to 167 feet in length, they're often compared to the weird and wonderful Nazca lines of Peru. The designs likely hold spiritual or ceremonial meaning. Some experts believe they represent Mastamo, a creator deity from Mojave and Quechan tribal mythologies. The figures were probably formed by removing darker surface pebbles to expose the lighter soil beneath. That would have taken incredible planning, especially without any aerial perspective to view the final layout. The purpose remains uncertain. Were they offerings to the gods? Tribal markers, astronomical calendars? No written records exist, but their scale and precision suggest the creators weren't simply drawing in the dirt, they were sending a message meant to be seen from the sky. How or why remains as quiet as the desert wind. Number 9. Mysteriously carved Stone Age's Sunstones in Denmark. Roughly 5,000 years ago, people living on Denmark's Bornholm Island began carving small stones with sunburst and web-like engravings. Then they'd burn them, break them, and bury them. We now call these artifacts sunstones, but that label only refers to their designs. We still don't know what they were used for. In 2017, archaeologists recovered over 300 of these stones during a site survey. Most are small enough to fit in your hand, and many show clear signs of wear, suggesting they were carried regularly, possibly in pockets or pouches. Some scholars believe they played a role in ritual practices, especially due to the burning and burial. Others argue they may have served as a kind of symbolic currency. Many are decorated with sun motifs, which may hold meaning since Bornholm is often nicknamed Sunshine Island, though no one remembers how that title originated. Whatever they were, these stones likely held meaning in a cultural context we've since lost, and they remain among the most puzzling finds. Number 8. Ancient Egyptian door lock. That old saying about how people never locked their doors back then isn't exactly true. In fact, people have been locking their homes for thousands of years. The oldest known example comes from Egypt, dating back around 4,000 years. It's a surprisingly advanced device for its time, a wooden lock and key carved to control access to private spaces. But it came with limitations. The key was over a foot long and easy to break, and the lock itself only worked from the outside. That meant you could secure your home when you left, but if you were inside and wanted to lock up, you had to climb out a window or simply leave the door open. Despite these drawbacks, the mechanism was smart for its time. Pins inside the wooden structure would fall into place, and only the matching key could lift them to open the latch. It wasn't perfect, but it was effective. Number 7. Dongola ruins. On the eastern bank of the Nile in Sudan lies Old Dongola, a deserted city that once served as the capital of the Nubian kingdom of Makuria. Between the 4th and 14th centuries, it was a thriving urban center. But by the mid-14th century, it was mysteriously abandoned. Unlike cities lost to war or flooding, Dongola shows no evidence of violent conflict or natural disaster. Instead, the population seems to have left voluntarily and without a clear reason. Historical records, including the Book of Knowledge, written in 1348, note that the original Nubian residents were already gone by then, replaced by Genoese merchants. Why either group left remains unknown. Archaeological digs began in 1964 and have since revealed cathedrals, palaces, and early Christian architecture. Despite its size and strategic importance, Dongola's fall remains one of the region's most persistent mysteries. The site today stands largely quiet, its wide avenues and crumbling walls echoing a past that vanished without a trace or explanation. Number 6. Birana Tower. In Kyrgyzstan's Chui Valley stands the Birana Tower, a solitary remnant of the ancient city of Balasagun. Though commonly called a tower, it's actually what remains of a minaret. Today it rises 25 meters high, but it once stood taller, likely damaged by time and repeated earthquakes. Built during the 9th century by the Karakhanids, Birana once formed part of a major mosque in the city. Balasagun itself was a vibrant cultural and economic hub, yet almost none of it remains. Only scattered fragments of mausoleums, shattered wall sections, and this leaning minaret survive. Rather than being destroyed in war, the city fell victim to a series of massive earthquakes. After one particularly devastating event in the 15th century, residents gave up and moved on. Seismic activity still threatens the structure today, and preservation efforts are ongoing. One unexplained detail continues to puzzle historians. The entrance to the tower sits over 6 feet above the ground, with no stairs or access points. Its purpose remains unclear. Number 5. The Celtic prince Sep's tomb in France. Archaeologists see countless tombs throughout their careers, so when one stands out, it means something. In March 2015, an extraordinary burial site was unearthed in the Champagne region of France, near the town of Laval. Dated to roughly 2,500 years ago, the tomb is believed to have belonged to a Celtic prince. If that's true, it suggests a level of cultural blending in ancient Europe. Though the Celts typically kept to their own tribes, artifacts in the tomb, like figurines and vessels, show distinct Greek and Etruscan influence. The burial mound itself is massive, stretching 130 feet across, with the prince interred at the center inside a chariot. Chariot burials were reserved for elite warriors or leaders, and this one came with additional status symbols, iron weapons, metal ornaments, and a finely crafted bronze wine cauldron. Historians believe such objects were likely obtained through trade rather than local manufacture. The mix of styles and the tomb's scale give it weight not just as a grave, but as a marker of ancient social power. Number 4. Umayad inscriptions at Neidos. In April 2022, archaeologists in Neidos, an ancient city in Turkey, found 4 rare Umayyad inscriptions etched into blocks of marble and limestone. While Neidos itself dates back over 2,600 years, these writings are much newer, built during the brief window when the Umayyad Caliphate controlled the area between 685 and 711 CE. Originally a Greek settlement, Neidos became a hub of trade and medicine, with a renowned medical school that trained some of the ancient world's leading physicians. These inscriptions refer to military expeditions toward Istanbul and list the tribes expected to take part, along with their leaders. Most of the names are new to historians and may expand our understanding of early Islamic governance in Anatolia. These carvings are now considered the oldest Islamic artifacts ever found in Western Turkey. Researchers believe more inscriptions could still be buried nearby. If so, they could offer deeper insight into the movements, politics, and identities of the Umayyad tribes during the formative years of Islam. Number 3. Old Douche under New York City Hall. There's no glamorous way to describe this one. A 200-year-old douche was found beneath New York City Hall in 2014. It was likely left behind after a lavish celebration held when the building was first completed. The feminine hygiene device made from bone was discovered alongside empty liquor bottles, smoking pipes, broken ceramics, and animal bones, including remnants of cows, fish, sheep, and turtles. Turtles in particular were considered a delicacy during that time. While douches probably weren't rare in the 19th century, they're barely mentioned in medical literature, likely due to Victorian taboos around discussing women's health. What puzzles researchers is that the device is still intact and reusable. At a time when such items weren't easy to replace, discarding a fully functional one makes little sense. Its presence in the middle of post-party debris hints at a story that's more complex than simple disposal. It's a glimpse into forgotten social customs sealed beneath layers of stone and silence. Number 2. Menhairs in Yadajadri. Menhairs' ancient standing stones serve different purposes across cultures. Some marked ceremonial spots, while others stood over burial grounds. In India's Yadajadri Bhuvanagiri district, a pair of 4,000-year-old menhirs uncovered near Venkatapuram village likely served the latter purpose. These are among the oldest of their kind found in the region, where the tradition of placing stones at burial sites stretches back thousands of years. Unfortunately, no accompanying graves have been located. It's possible the burials were destroyed long ago. One stone still stands upright, while the other lies broken nearby. Most Indian menhirs bear symbols or inscriptions, but this one doesn't, which is one reason archaeologists believe they predate other known examples. The intact stone reaches over 15 feet tall and is set to be relocated for preservation, though a permanent location hasn't been finalized. These markers, silent and unadorned, are likely the last remnants of a culture long erased from the landscape, leaving behind only stone sentinels as testimony to the dead they once honored. Alright, let's end this with Number 1. Biblical earthquake evidence in Jerusalem. The Bible describes a massive earthquake that struck Jerusalem 2,800 years ago, mentioned in both the Book of Amos and the Book of Zechariah. Unearthing physical proof of such an ancient disaster is incredibly rare, but in 2021, archaeologists in the city may have found exactly that. A team from the Israel Antiquities Authority excavated ruins in the Silwan neighborhood and found structural damage and broken pottery that align with the kind of destruction a major earthquake would cause. They considered other explanations, fire, flood, but ruled them out due to the absence of ash layers or water damage. Powerful quakes in Jerusalem are uncommon but not impossible. The most recent major one occurred in 1927. Similar damage from the same time period has also been detected during digs at Megiddo, roughly 80 miles north of Jerusalem. If both were affected by the same event, it must have been colossal. It's no surprise that ancient writers saw fit to preserve its memory. It may have literally shaken the entire region. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.